Am I the asshole for tricking my sister-in-law into stealing our baby name? No. Because if she wasn't trying to steal your name, we wouldn't be here. So I, 33 female, have been married to my husband Kevin, 35 male, for 5 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and I'm currently pregnant with twins, male and female. My brother-in-law Terrence, 38 male, has been married to his wife Jess, 39 female, for 7 years. Jess and I are total opposites. She's an extrovert. She's kind of loud, boisterous, and some would even say abrasive. I'm an introvert. I'm not quiet or shy, but I am reserved. I'm also very observant. The first time I met Jess, I told Kevin that we would be like oil and water. We've never been overly hostile towards each other, but we've also never gone out of our way to bond. Unfortunately, Terrence and Jess had fertility issues for several years before finally having their son a couple of weeks ago. Prior to this, Jess was very odd towards us while I was pregnant with our daughter. The best way to describe it is as hot and cold. One minute she would pretend like she didn't care we were talking about it at a family gathering, then the next she was volunteering to throw the baby shower. I gave that a firm no. We both assumed the behavior was because of their fertility issues and we didn't think too much about it. The strangest thing she did was almost demand to know what we were naming our daughter before we decided to announce it. She asked us constantly after our gender reveal and got visibly annoyed when we would just laugh her off and tell her that it was a secret. We couldn't understand why the hell she cared so much as she was not expecting at this time. Regardless, we didn't share the name with anyone. When our daughter was born and her name was finally announced, Jess was kind of obsessed with it. I don't know how else to explain it. She just kept going on and on about how beautiful and unique it was. To this day, she comments about how different it is. The name we chose is a pretty common Welsh name, which wouldn't be all that different except for the fact that we're African American. I've always gravitated towards names from different regions, and I found and fell in love with the name years ago, and I never shared it with anyone prior to Kevin. Fast forward to the both of us being pregnant at the same time. Jess's odd behavior continued towards me, but this time it was more blatant. Snarky comments under the guise of jokes about how big I was going to get with 2 babies, and that my body would never snap back like it did after our daughter. She even accused us of getting pregnant on purpose after she announced her own pregnancy, even though the whole family knew we were actively trying, and at the time of her announcement, I was already a few weeks along and I didn't know. One thing about me, introvert or not, I'm no pushover and I will stand up for myself. But I chose to ignore Jess because I knew that would get to her more than confronting her would, since she seems to thrive off drama. Jess was obviously much further along than we are, and however, we did have our gender reveal prior to Jess giving birth. Right on cue, the baby name interrogation started all over again, because they decided not to find out the gender of their baby in advance. Jess kept hounding us for both of the names that we had already picked out, but again, we declined to answer. I think I see what's going to happen here. I see you're going to set her up. You're going to set her up and she's going to find the baby name somewhere and then claim she had no idea and name her child after that name and then get mad when you guys decide to name your child something different. I cannot fucking wait. After days of this, I got annoyed and I asked Kevin if he thought the reason for her insistence was so that she could use the name first because she was due first. He kind of chuckled until he realized that I was serious. He said that he didn't think so, but anything was possible. So I said, let's test it. We were due to host my father-in-law's birthday at our house a couple of weeks later. I decided to leave something in the unfinished nursery with a girl and boy name on it to see if Jess went snooping. Because Kevin thought it was silly, he said that he would give me $20 if she did. So I went onto some site where you can order custom name wall decals, and I put them in the names of Aria Rose and Sebastian Ali. These are names that we like, but they aren't remotely close to what we chose. This was also going to be our last pregnancy, so even if Jess did use these names, we wouldn't care. I didn't complete the order. I got to the final page and then printed it out and hid it in a dresser drawer in the nursery. I love this. I'm getting so much satisfaction from this, and we ain't even hit the peak of the story yet. I can't fucking wait. I love this. The party goes off, but because we were busy hosting, we never noticed if Jess disappeared for any extended period of time. When I went into the nursery the next morning, nothing was out of place and the order sheet was still in the same location. We both just went, well, and forgot about it. I did, however, notice that Jess never asked us about the names again. I cannot fucking wait, bro. Then Jess gives birth. We went to the hospital to give our congrats. When we go in and see the baby, I asked what his name was, and man, I can't properly explain the shit-eating grin that came over Jess's face as she says, Sebastian Ali. Bitch, you thought you won. you, you thought you won. I mean, she was really proud of herself. And honestly, it's the most vindictive I've ever seen her look in all the years that I've known her. But instead of reacting like she was expecting, I put on a performance like I had graduated from Juilliard. OMG, that's such a great name. He's so cute. Look at his widow face. Oh, I just love him so much. Welcome to the world, Sebastian. Auntie's gonna spoil you rotten. I mean, I am laying it on thick without an ounce of bother. The range of emotions on Jess's face went from shock to confusion to rage in a span of about 17 seconds. Meanwhile, my husband is holding in the laugh of the century. We later say our goodbyes and he gives me a 20 in the elevator while almost crying laughing. All I could say was, like I thought, period. Like, give this girl a Grammy. Give this girl an Academy Award. She deserves all the fucking awards. Girl, I bow. You're well played. Well fucking played, babe. This was 2 weeks ago. We haven't seen them since because we wanted to give them time to settle in with the new baby. I have heard from my mother-in-law that Jess doesn't seem as thrilled about motherhood as she thought she would be, considering how long it took for them to conceive, but it might just be the baby blues. Obviously, I think she's just disappointed that her petty move didn't have the desired effect on us. I did share this with my sister. While she laughed initially, she did say that it was kind of an asshole move. So am I the asshole? No. I have never been so fucking satisfied.